Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, we'll take a look at how the sequester could affect Rockbridge area.
And are you traveling this weekend? Stay tuned to see how interstate detours might affect your trip.
Welcome to another edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Papa Osei.
And I'm Sarah Jean Vallon.
Cool Spring Organics Market and Cafe has lost one of his owners. Brad Isold died unexpectedly last Friday at his home. Isold co-owned Cool Springs with his partner Selena Anderson. The store provides Lexington residents with a place to buy and eat healthy. It also gave local musicians a venue to perform. Andy Wolf, a longtime friend, shared his memories of Isold.
Well, Brad was truly a character. He looked like he played with ZZ Top from the neck up, and he looked like he was 30 years old from the neck down. He was always bright, and he was cheerful, and he was challenging, and he loved music, and he loved good health, and he was really enthusiastic about his profession and where he was.
Wolf said Isold's first duty was to the community.
He was very tuned into local. Whether it be food or music, the way that he approached and knew his customers, they were all friends. If you ate there, you spoke to him. If you shopped there, you saw him.
Isold was only 65. Family and friends will hold a memorial service. Keep checking Cool Springs' Facebook page for those details.
The sequester will affect jobs, but it's not stopping there. If you plan to go to this year's Lynchburg Regional Air Show, make other plans. According to the Lynchburg Regional Air Show Corporation, cuts to military air show performers make this year's show too risky. This announcement follows a nationwide trend of air shows being canceled because of sequestration. The show would have been during Memorial Day weekend and would have honored the military. But the next show will go on, according to a press release. Planning for the 2015 Lynchburg show will begin immediately.
The sequester has even caused protests in Roanoke. Funding for the Total Action for Progress Head Start program will be cut 5%. The program helps prepare children for school and for life. Last week, program supporters held signs outside Congressman Bob Goodlatte's office. Its budget will be reduced beginning this May. The cuts will last until April 2014. That National Head Start Association is encouraging people across the country to voice their concerns to the congressman.
At the University of Central Florida in Orlando, student James Oliver's Sivan Kumaran was found dead in his dorm room after an apparent suicide. When police searched his room, the findings were disturbing. Our CNN correspondent, Ed Payne, has the story.
Police say 30-year-old James Suvak Umaran pulled a fire alarm, possibly to draw people out in the open, then went back to his room to arm himself, where he pulled a gun on his roommate. The roommate ran into a bathroom and called 911. When police arrived, they found the gunman dead. As they gathered evidence, they found a handgun, an assault rifle, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and a backpack with homemade bombs. They also found clues about what he was doing.
We found some notes and some writings that indicated that this was a planned attack. This individual had laid out a timeline and was laid out some of what we feel were going to be his actions.
Students were evacuated from their dorm. Some say they were left in the dark.
The way they handled it was kind of like disappointing, because it started off as a fire alarm, and nobody said that something else was going on with the bomb and the shooting.
Authorities say in his timeline, Suvak Umaran said he would, quote, give them hell. Luckily, it did not turn out as planned.
It could have been a very bad day for everybody here. All things considered, I think that we were very blessed here at the University of Central Florida.
Now investigators are trying to determine who the gunman had planned to attack. I'm Ed Payne reporting.
There are about 3,400 college students in Lexington alone. With campus shootings becoming more frequent in this country, shall this college town be concerned? Colonel Stuart McKinnis, the communications director at VMI, says it's a situation the school has already considered.
So we set up systems to react to this. Those systems include notification to everybody on post, to all the cadets. That includes loudspeakers on campus, text messages, phone messages to all the telephones on post. So we have a system to get the word out.
McKinnon said VMI is also equipped with electronic sensors. There's also a guard team on duty 24 hours a day to help keep students safe.
Local newspapers say a Glasgow man jumped into the James River around 8:30 last Thursday evening. He reportedly abandoned his car on the Greenlee Road Bridge and Natural Bridge Station. The vehicle was identified by local authorities. Search and rescue agencies have been in the water all week. Dogs from the Virginia-based Dogs East Canine Unit have been searching the river by scent. Representatives from the organization say they hope to find the missing body soon and put closure to the case. The resident's name hasn't been revealed, and the Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office has not been available to comment.
The Lexington Fire Chief says it is safe to go back to Walmart. The supercenter was evacuated this morning because of a heavy gas odor. After 15 minutes, the fire chief said there was no hazardous situation and said the building was safe for shoppers. Buena Vista has come back with its yearly school budget.
And a local charity makes moves to support victims of sexual assault. That and more coming up after the break.
2 minutes.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks, more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
I understand you need a little help with your mortgage. Want to avoid foreclosure. Candy? Well, you know, you're in luck. We're experts in this sort of thing. Mortgage, rigmarole, whatnot. Why don't we get a contract? Who wants a contract?
Here you go, Pete.
Thanks, Betty.
Write a toner.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE.
Buena Vista's Public School Board has passed a proposed budget for next school year. The district is receiving over $1 million in additional funding from last year's budget. Part of the money will be used to upgrade computer labs and libraries in Buena Vista's 4 public schools.
Challenges are different than they were 5 years ago when the economy and our budget started really going downhill. And so we need those resources to be able to respond to the demands on the school.
The budget also creates 18 additional jobs in the district ranging from teachers to media specialists. The budget will go to Buena Vista City Council for final approval in April.
Washington and Lee University students met on Tuesday to make care packages for survivors of sexual assaults. Our reporter Betsy Cribb has the story.
After a rape, sexual assault victims might go to the hospital for a physical evidence recovery kit. The exam takes several hours and victims' clothes are kept as evidence. Victims often leave the hospital in paper scrubs, but Rosemary Tribble is trying to change that. Tribble knows firsthand what it's like to be a victim. She was raped by a stranger when she was 25. At the time, she was a TV talk show host in Richmond.
I remember going to the hospital alone and how devastating that fear was for me. We did do the exam, and then I had to go alone again to the police station.
She started a nonprofit group called Fear to Freedom in 2011. It makes care packages for assault victims. The kits include toiletries and a change of clothes. Renee Pullen is a sexual assault nurse examiner at Augusta Health Center. Augusta Health is the closest hospital with such nurses.
I think last year we had about 50 cases last year, and that sounds like a lot. The sad thing is that only a small fraction of people report.
Pullen says she sees victims of all ages.
Last week I had a little girl who was 7, and I just kept thinking, oh, I wish I had a bear, oh, I wish I had a bear.
Pullen will have a bear for future patients. Each Fear to Freedom kit also includes a freedom bear, made in Cambodia by survivors of sex trafficking. Washington and Lee University students met on Tuesday to put together these care packages. At the end of the night, they put 100 Fear to Freedom kits on an ambulance bound for Augusta Health Center. Fear to Freedom currently serves 8 hospitals in Virginia. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Betsy Cribb.
The Lexington Fire Department has passed an inspection that allows it to renew its Virginia license. The state's policy changed last October. One new regulation requires EMS agencies to create formal response plans with their local government. Lexington Fire Department's Chief Dickerson worked with City Council to lay out a plan. The agreement says that the department will not take longer than 14 minutes to respond to a call. The Lexington Fire Department responds to calls for an area of 55 square miles. Robert Forsman is the Rockbridge County Emergency Coordinator. He is worried that the changes will discourage potential volunteer firefighters from joining departments.
And that's what we're trying to prevent, because your only other option, if you start losing large numbers of volunteers, is to bring in career staff. And if you do that, it costs a significant amount of money, and that is something that we don't have right now.
Last year, the longest response time was only 12 minutes, so Dickerson doesn't think the new regulations will be a problem, or at least not here in Lexington.
A new report says Rockbridge County is the 31st healthiest of Virginia's 134 cities and counties. The survey conducted by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation compared counties on a variety of medical and economic factors. The survey ranked Lexington the state's 50th healthiest municipality. Buena Vista lagged behind at 87th. Rockbridge County and the 2 cities were above the state average for uninsured adults under 65. The high school graduation rates for Lexington and the county were 5 points below the state average.
Mexican company Red Sun Farms is set to create more than 200 jobs in Pulaski County. The organic vegetable grower will open its first high-tech greenhouse in the U.S. It invested $30 million to be first tenant in the new River Valley Commerce Park. Red Sun Farms chose the Virginia site over one in Tennessee because of Pulaski County's elevation. Governor Bob McDonnell is expected to make an announcement about the greenhouse in Dublin tomorrow.
They save horses, don't they? Stick around to find out what one charity is doing to give racehorses a second chance.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Every book is an adventure waiting to come to life. Visit new worlds. Encounter new friends. And discover the power of reading. Go to read.gov to read A Princess of Mars, the first novel to feature John Carter. A new world awaits. Read.
Yes, ready, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
A local horse show is inspiring riders around the country to adopt retired racehorses. If they don't find a home, they might be sent to slaughter. Reporter Andrew Sorgel has the story.
Last weekend, the Virginia Horse Center hosted a tri-annual horse show that has started a movement across the country. Riders got a chance to compete, and retired racehorses got a second chance at glory. They're calling it the Thoroughbred Celebration Horse Show.
We needed a venue. We needed a reason for people to want to adopt these horses and turn them into show horses. And so that was when I decided to approach the Virginia Horse Center to see about putting on some off-the-track thoroughbred shows.
Keeping a racehorse that's no longer competitive can be extremely expensive. Many off-the-track racehorses face euthanasia, abandonment, and slaughter upon retirement.
The bigger issue is with those lower level horses that aren't really worth being bred again but are still sound, and so those are the ones that you hope to rehome and re-career, and then unfortunately there's the ones that end up in the slaughter pipeline, and that's been a big issue too with the racehorses.
The Thoroughbred Celebration horse shows provide a more humane alternative. They started in Lexington in 2009. Since then, similar shows have cropped up all over the country.
This year alone, there's, probably 25 thoroughbred horse shows being run on the East Coast this summer. It's really taken off, the whole thoroughbred horse show concept.
Getting these sprinters into showing shape is no easy task. Illegal horse doping is common in low-circuit racetracks. When these horses stop racing and the steroids wear off, many of them face serious health problems.
They come into your barn and they're fit and they're tight and they're great, and then the steroids wear off and all of a sudden they have no weight, they have no, they essentially crash is what we call, their whole immune system goes downhill.
With an increasing number of thoroughbred-specific horse shows across the country, more racehorses like these have options after their racing days are behind them. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Andrew Sorgel.
20% of horses sent to slaughter are thoroughbreds. That's what Ann Russick says. She's the founder of the Thoroughbred Celebration Horse Show, which occurred this weekend. She holds events like this to help save them from some of the racehorses.
The General Assembly passed a 24-page-long law. Who does it affect? Moped riders, motorcycle owners, and people who roll on segways and scooters. These riders will have to obtain a special driver's license and pass a road test for three-wheeled motorcycles. Riders will have to display license plates, too. What does this mean for police officers? Their authority is extended over these low-speed vehicles. Lastly, this creates a $100 registration fee on certain mopeds. This law is a combination of previous moped laws and the road funding bill that the General Assembly approved last month. This is the same bill that added a $100 surcharge to hybrids.
Construction on the Robert E. Lee building in downtown Lexington is underway. The building will become a hotel with 39 rooms and a restaurant. Reporter Chelsea Gilman has an update on the building and the story behind it.
Robert E. Lee Building has had a long history in Lexington. The inside is being remodeled. It will have 39 rooms, a conference room, a restaurant, and commercial space on the first floor.
I think Lexington, it was ready for something to happen.
For nearly 2 decades, the hotel was home to 26 low-income elderly residents. They had to move, and it wasn't easy, because most of them didn't have cars. Betty LaRock runs the Rockbridge Area Transportation Service. She explains the move was hard for some of the residents.
One of our riders has lived there for over 17 years, so there's a longevity there with a lot of riders, and he was extremely sad, and we worried about him.
The Rockbridge County's Director of Rental Assistance, Vicki Agner, insists the moves went smoothly.
City of Lexington actually stepped up to the plate and provided funding for moving expenses and deposits for utilities and deposits for the rent. That worked out really well.
Benny Casa says the new Robert E. Lee Hotel will be good for downtown Lexington.
We hope that once we finish, some of the other landlords, they will start cleaning up some of their building.
The hotel is expected to open in spring 2014. Reservations are being accepted now. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Chelsea Gilman.
The Rutherford Institute says it wants Governor Bob McDonnell to hold off on signing a recently passed bill. The bill would make texting and driving a primary offense in Virginia. The Rutherford Institute says it provides free legal services to people whose constitutional and human rights have been threatened. Rutherford Institute President John Whitehead says that the bill doesn't set any standards for probable cause under the Fourth Amendment, which protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Charlottesville police spokesman Ronnie Roberts says that if the law is passed, police procedures would most likely change. Meanwhile, the American Civil Liberties Union of Virginia says that this is all about. It wants to ensure that if the bill becomes law, the law will be enforced fairly.
Dolores Castelny, known for her work as a Lexington food critic, was killed on November 13. David Kraft hit her with his company van while driving across an intersection in Charlottesville. Kraft owns a bath and tile company in Keene, Virginia. He was driving the company's van at the time of the accident. Castelny's family is suing Kraft for wrongful death in a civil case. Attorney Gregory Webb is representing the Castelnys. Kraft was charged with a $75 fine. He and his company are now being sued for $2.5 million. After the break, it's Agriculture Week in Virginia. Find out how residents celebrated.
And learn how Virginia college basketball teams are faring in the NCAA tournament.
Let's turn over this log. Yeah. Whoa! I like the big black ones. I like the brown wiggly ones.
I like the green crunchy ones myself.
Whoa.
Get out and explore nature. There's surprises everywhere. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Anyone up for dessert?
The magical thing about using energy wisely is that anyone can do it. Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And turn off computers and game systems when not in use. Make a change and we can really fly. Grab a grown-up and go online to energy.gov/kids.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yup.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
So, are you going out tonight? I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work. That's so gay. Totally gay.
Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
Well, you know, when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult.
When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Yesterday was the first day of spring, but it sure doesn't feel like spring here in Lexington. There's been a forecast today for hazardous weather, and although the sun's been out, it's only reached 34 degrees.
It really doesn't feel like spring here in Lexington. There's been a forecast today for hazardous weather, and although the sun's been out, it's only reached 34 degrees. Tonight will be windy in the low 20s. On Friday, temperatures will reach 48 degrees, and tomorrow night will bring clouds and a low of 25. The sun will stay out for Saturday and we'll feel a high of 52, but Sunday and Monday bring rain, snow, and sleet. Chances of precipitation are 70% on Sunday and 40% on Monday. Temperatures will hover around the high 30s and low 40s. It looks like local students will have some nasty weather for their spring break next week.
The NCAA men's basketball tournament tips off today. 5-seed VCU plays 12-seed Akron. JMU beat LIU Brooklyn in the first round. They have a tough matchup with 1-seed Indiana today. The potential Cinderella story ended before it could begin. Liberty lost by 1 point in the first round to North Carolina A&T. If they had won, Liberty would have played 1-seed Louisville today. In the NIT first round, 1-seed Virginia beat 8-seed Norfolk State 67-56. In local lacrosse, W&L's men's team extended its win streak to 3 with a 9-4 win against William and Mary. The women's LAC team faces off against Catholic on Saturday. The Keydets will also play on Saturday against Detroit. In baseball, VMI beat Richmond on Wednesday 9-5. W&L lost to Bridgewater 9-4 last night, and SVU had a 5-0 victory over Ferrum.
Hillary Clinton now supports gay marriage. On Monday, the former Secretary of State spoke about gays and lesbians in a video for an advocacy group called Human Rights Campaign.
LGBT Americans are our colleagues, our teachers, our soldiers, our friends, our loved ones. And they are full and equal citizens and deserve the rights of citizenship. That includes marriage. That's why I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law, embedded in a broader effort to advance equality and opportunity for LGBT Americans and all Americans.
Clinton's announcement could mean that she's considering a presidential run in 2016. Supporting gay marriage is widely popular among Democratic and independent voters. A recent poll said that 58% of Americans endorse it. Both candidates for governor are willing to talk about lifting a 30-year-old ban on uranium mining. Republican Ken Cuccinelli says regulations need to be in place first, and Democrat Terry McAuliffe says he needs to be certain that mining can be done safely. If the ban is lifted, Virginia Uranium Incorporated hopes to mine a 119 million pound deposit in Pittsylvania County. Critics worry about health risks. Virginia's wet climate also poses a risk. Supporters say it will create jobs in one of the state's driest job markets. According to CBS News, Obamacare may be affecting veterinarians. Medical equipment used on humans as well as animals is subject to a 2.3% excise tax. Devices used on animals only are exempt from the tax, but a lot of devices, such as ultrasound and CT scans used on humans, are also used on animals. Veterinarians say that expensive equipment that costs $500,000 could increase by $12,000 with the new tax. Vet bills could increase by $10 a visit due to the added cost. Stay with us after the show. Our reporter Andrew Sorgel has more with Ann Russick, the Pink Cadillac Diner and founder of the Thoroughbred Celebration Horse Show, has a lot to say about saving retired horses.
Thanks for joining us again. For more news, check out our website at www.rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net. Have a good night.